Out there is the perfect lap. No mistakes. Every gear change, every corner, perfect. Welcome to Primary Technology, the show about the tech news that matters. We just got leaks from journalist Mark Gurman about iOS 27 and the Siri overhaul. We're going to show some images there. The Ferrari Luce is out. MKBHD has a video of the inside, the Jony Ive-designed interior. Halide 3 is out. The Fitbit Air is out there. YouTube is putting AI labels on a bunch of stuff. Spotify has new podcast tools and a ton more. This episode is brought to you by Keeper, Scribe, and NordLayer, and you, the members who support us directly. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen Robles, and joined by journalist Jason Aten. How's it going, Jason?
This is going to be a long episode.
I'm saying journalist a lot because if you don't, it's an inside joke. You have to listen to our unedited feed to get the joke. And you can become a member at join.primarytech.fm or just click the link in the show notes or below the video and you get it for like $2.50 a month or $50 a year. It's a crazy deal. Do you know where that quote is from? Out there is the perfect lap.
I just want to correct you for 1 second. It's
I just
not
put that quote
$2.50 a year or a month or $50 a year. It's $25 a year.
$25 a year.
Because I'm like, that math does not work.
No, math ain't math. $2.50 a month, $25 a year. The link is down in the show notes. Support the show ad free, all that.
I think that the movie is not F1 because, no.
That's correct.
But I think it's the other one.
Yes, that's right.
With
one of the topics
with
we're talking
Javier
about
Bardem and Brad Pitt. Ford versus Ferrari.
Okay, well, wait a minute. It is Ford v. Ferrari. It is not either of those
I just tried
actors.
to see how
it is Matt Damon. Okay, anyway, that is Ford v. Ferrari. We have a lot of exciting stuff. I've been sending out pins secretly to even more people. And spoiler, we're on 6 out of 7 continents. That's not a 6-7 meme. It's 6 out of 7. Actually, we're on 7 out of 8, which we'll get to in a second, which I didn't know. But anyway, J.D. Storch from the USA gave us a 4-star review. I have to go an entire episode without saying a specific word, so we'll see if I'm going to do it today. He's going to bump it up to 5 stars. Joe drinks coffee from New Zealand. He says Zealandia is officially a continent.
What does officially mean?
Officially. I don't know. Journalist Jason Aten, you should tell us. What? Sorry, this is going to be an inside joke the whole time. It also said dock dots could be on or off. I don't know because we don't use dock down in this part of the world. I also don't know what that means. Are you saying everyone in New Zealand and Australia, no one uses the dock on their Mac?
Yeah, I didn't understand that either when I read it. I didn't know if that was a joke or...
Is it a Hobbit joke?
I didn't know if this is like in the EU, you're not allowed to do in-app subscriptions, and in Australia, you can't use the dock. I don't know.
I don't know. Please explain. Leave us another 5-star rating review. Please explain. Louier 111 from the UK, and the title of this review, it really hurt because it said, Jason, thank you, Jason. That was the whole title of the review. And it said, a while back, Jason said to drink black coffee for 2 weeks and you'll never go back, and he was very right. I love my iced Americano in the morning.
Yeah.
Really, Jason?
I don't actually remember saying that, but it does sound like a thing I would say. I probably was trying to convince you to just switch to black coffee, maybe.
Maybe. I'm not doing it. You say you drink black coffee.
Yeah, and I had a really sad story. It'll be quick. Don't worry. That last night, so we get these Nespresso pods, right, for our Nespresso thing, and whenever you get them, they actually send you like samplers of other types. Like, you didn't order this. You might want to next time. Sure. And what they sent us this time, I definitely will not be ordering next time because it was supposed to be some kind of caramel something, and I'm like, I hate flavored coffee. Now, I will drink like a latte with something in it. That's different.
Sure.
Flavored coffee, it should be a crime. I just think it's so bad.
It's also a crime how you said caramel and not caramel, but I don't know if we have time to get into that.
I don't think it was a crime.
It's definitely wrong.
Caramel?
Yeah, that's not right. But anyway, we have listeners.
You can leave us a 5-star review and tell us how you say that word.
Please spell it out.
Also,
how do you say caramel?
Also, don't spell it out because it's only spelled one way.
That's right. That's exactly right. It's exactly right. With all the letters.
Yeah.
It's not Carmel.
I mean, there is a city in Indiana called Carmel. But anyway.
There's also one in New York, I think, Carmel. Anyway, I want to talk about listeners around the world because we actually had a listener who's been to Antarctica before, and she also has her own podcast, Podfeet. She heard our plea about Antarctica and had the same dream, and so she took it into her own hands and went to Antarctica herself to listen to her show down there. Listen, kudos.
But she didn't take one of our pins?
Well, this was years ago. This happened years ago.
She didn't invent a time machine, get one of our pins, and go back and do this?
No, but that is amazing. We've had listeners in Antarctica. It happened once. I think it can happen again. Let us know. Listen, to your grandparents who's going on a cruise to Antarctica. How do you say that word? Antarctica? Caramel? How do you say that?
Yeah, how many A's are in it?
Anyway, so listen, if you're going to Antarctica, let me know. I will send you a bunch of pins.
I think it's Antarctica, not Antarctica.
You just swallow some letters? Antarctica?
No, put the screenshot back up there and look at the letters.
Antarctica. I'm putting it up there. But that's how you say it.
Oh,
How do you say eternity?
Antarctica. Eternity?
Antarctica.
Eternity?
Yeah.
As opposed to what? How else?
Nate's brother Jacob gave me a hard time because I said eternity a lot of times on a podcast, and I guess you need to swallow the second T. You got to say eternity.
Okay. So I think we need to start another podcast. Mispronunciation on the side.
I've read The Elements of Eloquence by Mark Forsyth, which is an excellent book, and I think I recommend it to everyone. But anyway, Antarctica, I'm going to say all the T's. Let us know if you're going there. But I sent a pin to Otavio in Brazil, so now we have South America covered, Oscar in Sweden, Ernesto in Uruguay, so we have Central America, and so they're going everywhere. We're going to be on all the continents. We just need to get Antarctica.
Journalist Antarctica.
Journalist Antarctica. I also want to shout out two other things before we get to F1, iOS 27 Siri, and all of that. We talked about Lego a couple weeks. Yeah. Jason's well acquainted with Lego. Big Broncos fan on Thread sent us a picture of his son's Lego collection. Listen, this thing, epic. He's got like the Marvel. He's got the Doctor Strange, the Marvel Tower. He's got great posters. He's got Grogu up there. Multiple shelves, classic cars. He's got the setup.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the A-Rod fathead on the wall there, I think that this would rival some of the rooms I've been to in the Lego Museum, just to be honest. That's pretty impressive. And if it wasn't for the fact that there's such a good story that goes with this, I'd actually be mad that he just wanted to show me up.
No, but Big Bronco fan said it helped his son get through chemo brain, and this is just a portion of the Legos. And
very well. Very, very well done.
Very incredible. So thanks for sharing that. And finally, I want to shout out an app. This is Choclift. Have you seen this app, Jason?
No.
Choclift. So it is. Think of it as like a digital stream deck on your phone, but basically you install this app on your phone and on your Mac, and then you can launch shortcuts by tapping the icons on your iPhone, or you can open apps and even open different window panes. A lot of it through shortcuts. But if you don't have Stream Deck, but you want to experiment, you can use it as a free app to download. So we'll put the link down below. And there's a pro subscription if you want multiple pages on your iPhone of things to tap, but it's also just free if you just want like one 8-button little Stream Deck on your phone. I thought that was pretty cool. Choclift.
That is very cool.
By Phil Trout. All right, you were at an F1 race, and you took a picture of Lewis Hamilton on a Razor. Is that accurate?
I don't know what he was on, but yeah, I mean, he showed up on a Ducati bike one day. He goes around on his little scooter. My favorite, I was at the Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal. Actually, I left before the race. Is that stupid? I'm going to do the same thing again next week, but it's because
yes.
I was there Friday and Saturday, flew in Sunday, and then flew home. But Monday was my son's birthday. So going from Montreal to here, there are not a lot of direct flight options. So it's like if I wanted to be home for my son on my son's birthday, I had to come home Sunday night, which meant I actually left before the race started.
Nice.
I go to F1 races and don't go to the race. But listen, an F1 race weekend, there's a lot of stuff. There's a sprint race. I was there for that. There's qualifying. There's practice. There was a F1 Academy race. Actually, 3 F1 Academy races. So there's an F2 race. There's a lot going on. So, but
very cool. Super fun stuff.
My favorite thing, I just want to say this.
Yeah.
When I've been to the races, as a press person, you have access to basically everything except for like the paddock club or whatever, and so you're in the paddock, which is the space between the garages and the hospitality tents. That's the paddock, right? And that's you can watch the drivers going back and forth from the garage right before the races. All this, it's great. So there are people who sort of gather in that area.
Congregate,
that was the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Journalists.
Yeah. They journalist in there. Some of them are journalists, but everyone else is maybe paparazzi just trying to get photos. And my favorite thing is right before the race, the drivers, particularly Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, they run out of their hospitality tents, and everybody's like, they're going to the garage. And it's like, nope. And they all just sort of like run to there's a bathroom section right between them, And then the people all just stand outside the bathrooms waiting. And I'm thinking, if you're an F1 driver, how locked in do you have to be to not be thinking about the fact that you're standing in here peeing and there are 700 people standing right outside waiting for you to come out.
Well, listen, if there's any athlete that understands performance anxiety, it's F1 drivers. And so I'm sure that they're locked. They're locked. Can I show this picture of Lewis Hamilton?
You can show any of the pictures you want, yep.
All right, this will be the chapter art, but also here it is if you're watching in Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. There he is, Lewis Hamilton on a scooter.
It's not quite as dramatic as the picture I took with Sony Alpha 1 at the
with
Vegas.
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
No, I'm saying I had one of Lewis that was pretty dramatic. But yeah.
That was a very good one. But this is dramatic in a different way.
It was fun, yeah.
Listen, this is hardcore journalism. Okay. It's beta season. Beta season is about to be upon us. Dub is a week and a half away. And I'm going out to Dub. I'm trying to figure out what am I going to install betas on because I want to make videos of stuff. I'm bringing my iPhone Air. That's my beta device. I'm not bringing another iPad. If I do an iPad beta, I'm just going to raw dog it on my main iPad Pro. I don't think that's the term, but I'm going with it. Jason's camera is just violently shaking.
I mean,
but
unless you're making a shrinking reference.
I haven't watched the last season.
No,
so
it doesn't matter. But there's anyway.
Oh yeah, anyway.
Because the Harrison Ford character keeps saying that, and they just keep saying to him, I don't think that means.
Oh yeah, he doesn't think that's not what it means. That's not what it means. But my Mac, this whole segment is just so I could explain how I did this on my MacBook Air. But I was thinking there's going to be a lot of changes on. Oh no, I just said it. I'm gonna have to cut it out. Anyway, I said a word. I'm gonna mute it.
It's fine. 3.9.
3.9. I wanted to be able to run the macOS beta on some device while I'm out there at Dub because I think there's going to be big changes. If there's big changes to Apple Intelligence and shortcuts, last year there was a whole like automations on the Mac were brand new for shortcuts. So I wanted to be able to do a beta on my Mac, but I need a Mac to like edit video and not be buggy while I'm out there because I'm going to be recording podcasts, editing video. Oh my word! I thought about buying a second MacBook Air like a crazy person to have a second Mac with me for the beta. And that felt like overkill. So I'm not going to do that. But what I looked up is you can create a partition on your SSD for your Apple Silicon Mac and break it off and then install macOS like it's a whole other computer. And then when you start up your Mac, you hold the power button. You used to be able to do this like reboot, and you still apparently can reboot from an external SSD. You could partition old hard drives. Well, apparently you can still do all of that, and it works. And so I went through the whole process. I installed macOS on a partition of my SSD on my MacBook Air, and once the macOS 27 beta comes, I'm going to put it on the partition, and hopefully I can run both, and my Tahoe side stays not buggy. Now, I've read some places that doing all of this rigmarole doesn't even matter because as soon as you go... Like if you update the operating system, even if it's on a partition, it might change things at like the kernel level of the MacBook and it could affect things there. Whatever. I've done enough obscurity where I'm going to go with it and then we'll see what happens.
This is a terrible idea, Stephen.
Why? Why is it a terrible idea?
This is a worse idea than buying the Rabbit Humane Pin or whatever.
Why? Why is it bad?
Stephen, like the MacBook Neo is a thing. Just buy a MacBook Neo.
It's so thick to carry that. I'm traveling, Jason.
Steven.
You don't even carry the Vision Pro on a plane. Did you wear it on the plane to the F1
Of
race?
course I did not.
Exactly.
That's not the same thing, by the way. The Vision Pro is 1,000 times bigger than carrying a second laptop.
It's a different shape, but I feel like with the Waterfield case, the volume... I don't know.
Stephen, do you know?
Jason's brain is breaking.
Do you understand physics? Like I just think.
Yeah.
Okay. Still, I think this is a terrible idea. But I'm super excited for the content that's going to result from.
That's right.
How iCloud wiped out all of my stuff because I had two different versions of macOS on the same laptop.
I'm not signed into iCloud on the beta side for just information.
I just don't. I think just put it on your laptop. Just put it on your laptop. You've got your Mac Studio. That's your main machine. Don't put the beta on there.
When I'm traveling, I'm going to be editing videos out
for
there.
For like 13 minutes, you'll be traveling. It's fine.
Yeah, but I got to be like in the moment. I got to turn around like 13 videos.
Final
in 4
Cut
days.
Pro on your iPad. It'll be fine.
Anyway, well, I did think about that too. But if I put the beta on my iPad, then I'm like, I got
just
nothing.
Don't put the beta on your iPad until you get home. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but if I want to make a video about it, anyway, what is your strategy? All that to say, you have 1,000 different devices over there because you got review units you keep for 4 years. What are you going to put the beta on?
Not 4 years. I don't think I have anything from before COVID. It's fine.
That's 6 years ago. 6 years.
Wait, what's your question? What is my strategy?
What are you going to put the beta on when it comes out?
I'll just put it on everything. It's fine. I don't care.
Your main iPhone?
Of course. Why not?
It'll
be fine. No, but honestly, the betas, unless there's a thing, so I understand people who didn't run the betas of Tahoe because they just hated liquid glass. Fine. That's fine. But the betas, it has been a very long time since a beta version of iOS or macOS or even iPadOS has been a problem for me.
Sure.
So I wouldn't put it on the MacBook Pro because the one thing I would be nervous about is audio hijack.
Right.
Like that's the one thing. That is the one thing. But
that's what I'll be using out there.
But hypothetically, we could do this without audio hijack. It's just a backup. I'm not saying we shouldn't do it, but I'm just saying like that Riverside will run fine. Well, no, Riverside never runs fine anymore, but it's not because of a beta version of the operating system.
Yeah, don't.
I just want to say that Zoom for podcasting right now, that is a industry ripe for disruption.
Wait, like Zoom?
I'm saying no, like Riverside. This is how I describe it to people. Riverside is the Zoom, but for podcasting.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
I think that category of software is ripe for disruption right now because there are no good options.
I mean, Riverside does pretty well.
Until they figure out that they should change things, and then they're like, wait, no one asked for this, and it broke everything.
The editor's been problematic. But anyway, we don't get into it. Beta season's coming. I'll follow up what happens when you put a macOS Beta 1 on a partition of a MacBook Air.
I will probably put iOS Beta on the iPhone Air and not put it on my iPhone 17. And then I'll probably pull out either the Neo or a MacBook Air and run the beta.
Yeah. One of your 18 computers.
Not 18, 14.
14. All right. Right as we were recording, journalist Mark Gurman at Bloomberg released a bunch of information about iOS 27. Basically, the Siri overhaul, which he has a bunch of things here. We will link a Bloomberg article. How many people can click a gift link before it expires?
I think infinity. It just expires in 7 days. So today is Thursday the 28th.
All right.
You're on the timer.
All right, you're on the timer. So we will put Jason's gift link in the show notes. The 9 to 5 Mac article is great, but they didn't include the images for obvious reasons because they wanted to, Bloomberg is releasing this stuff and it's behind a paywall. So I just going to show a couple of the images, but Gurman is basically saying that there's a bunch of redesigns of Siri, which we kind of knew already. There's going to be this bubble type thing from the dynamic island that will be the Siri assistant. You'll be able to ask. There'll be a dedicated Siri app with your conversation history. Siri will be in the camera, kind of like visual intelligence, but if you want to just go straight to that from the camera, you'll be able to do that, I think, rather than having to go to the visual intelligence screen, which I always forget is there. And so he's giving a preview of the Siri overhaul. We kind of knew this was happening. The dedicated app is what I'm curious if this is actually going to happen or not. Like, will there be a Siri app that you can go and see your conversation history, resume a conversation, search it, all of that? And Jason doesn't think that's necessary, but I want a conversation history because I use it all the time in Claude and ChatGPT. And if that history also then speaks to context, meaning your future requests will be tailored based on your past requests, I think that would be positive. Now, in a lot of these images, in all these images, there is ChatGPT as an integration, kind of like how you can do visual intelligence with both ChatGPT or Apple Intelligence and all of that. There are no images that show like Claude or Gemini as one of the popover options. That could just be it's not in this version or whatever images that journalist Mark Gurman got. But that is, Gemini and Siri. That's hopefully what we're going to be hearing about at WWDC. That deal happened. We haven't heard anything since that agreement between Apple and Google. And so maybe that is just what like the main Siri option is here. It's just Gemini behind the scenes. And now, I'm sorry, I've said Siri 1,000 times. My HomePod is now flashing at me. I don't know what is about to happen. It's probably going to start blasting Hans Zimmer music. But that's it. Go to the GIF link if you want to see all the images. It's right there.
Yeah, and I can understand wanting a Siri app, but if all the Siri app does is punch you to ChatGPT or Gemini, why don't you just use the ChatGPT or Gemini app? I feel like there has to be a much better story than that. Fine, chat history, like whatever. But did you look at the chat history? Like this,
it's not good. Yeah,
this feels like someone designed these things who just doesn't want you to use them. Like even the glowy orb thing coming out of the dynamic island.
It looks
Steven,
weird.
it looks like it is like sucking the content of that page up into the LLM, which is exactly what's happening. But like,
That is what's
I don't
happening.
understand. Like,
There is no. I'm going to say this right now, and you can call me. I don't know, whatever this is, whether I'm right or wrong. The conversation history will not look like this screenshot. This screenshot is showing these like bubble conversations where there's 2 columns offset, and every conversation is like a round rec little bubble. Ain't no way it looks like that. It at the very least be a list, just a regular list.
except you just know that they have to have a different mode of operating, and I would not be surprised. I'm not saying it will look like this, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it looks exactly like this, because Apple's gonna Apple, and instead of just doing the logical thing that every other version of these apps is doing, they're like, well, let's figure out how we could do this in a way that would be Apple. It's like, you're behind. Like, you don't double down on being behind.
I'll tell you what, Jason. If the conversation looks exactly like this in the Siri app in iOS 27, I will Apple cash you $5. But if it doesn't look like this, you have to say the word leaker at least once in an episode.
That's fine. Mark Gurman.
Just the word leaker.
Mark Gurman.
No,
is
not
a
around
leaker.
anything else. No context. You just have to say the word at one point. Anyway, we're going to know about in a week and a half what is actually happening. So there you go. iOS 27 Siri. Gift link below if you want to see all the screenshots. R2, Rivian R2, the official launch date is June 9th, by the way. We're going to get to the Ferrari Luce in a moment. But if you wanted to order a Rivian R2, some people are getting delivery on June 9th. There's invitations if you were on the wait list. It's going to be out there.
Aren't you on the wait list?
I am on the wait list. I haven't gotten an email. I'm waiting for my VIP R2 to arrive. Just kidding. That's not happening. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. There was also the performance models are the ones that are available right away. So if you want the cheaper models, you're going to have to wait. This is like for the most expensive models or whatever, which that's not what I was hoping for. So I'll be waiting. But we'll see. June 9th, Rivian. Cool. Didn't you booked one too, didn't you?
No, I did not. But we've talked about how there's like at some point we'll have to replace our Model S because like it's almost 7-8 years old.
They don't make it anymore. That
and they don't make
product is
Model S
obsolete.
anymore, which is actually pretty unfortunate. But just thinking about what we might want, and I don't know, an R2 is kind of nice.
Did I tell you when my Model S fell apart? Did I tell you about that?
Was that before you bought it? After you bought it? What?
I have a 2013 Model S,
Which is basically OG.
It is 1 year past the original release date of that model, and it has the bubble plastic nose.
Yeah.
Yes. So
That's how you can tell someone has
yeah.
a very old Model S.
a couple of years ago, after I first got it, I went to my barber, which was obviously a couple of years ago because I don't go anymore. One of the guys, when I walked in the barber shop, they were like, "Why does your Tesla look so weird?" I was like, "Because it's old." Okay, it's because it's an old car.
I don't ask you that as you get older. What are you talking about my car like that for?
You got a moped out front. Why are you talking about me? It's got the plastic bubble nose on the front of the Model S. And one day I was pulling into somewhere, I forget what it was. And when I got out, the bubble was gone. The front nose was just disappeared. It was just like the metal plate behind it. No bubble
Like
nose.
somebody stole it?
Well, it disappeared, and I don't know what happened to it. And I was like, what could happen? And I did remember when I back into my garage, and there was a instance where I didn't back up far enough, and the garage door kind of like touched the bubble nose and then went back up because it registered that there was an object there. And I was like, huh. And apparently that weakened the little clips maybe that connect the bubble nose. And then one day it just was gone. And I was like, when did this fall off? Because it happened recently. And then I remembered, I wonder, did I loosen it with the garage? And then when I went through the car wash, was that enough to break off the bubble nose?
The bubble nose.
The bubble nose. So I went back to the car wash, and trying to go to a car wash and asking for help, that's like going to the middle of the desert and looking for a Starbucks.
They only know how to do one thing, which is put your car in the little rails and just go.
That's it. And I don't even know, there's no like office for the car wash to go to, but there are people around working. And so I find someone running around like emptying the trashes, and I'm like, hey, listen, do you guys have a lost and found? Like, I know this sounds weird.
People typically lose parts off of their car.
I don't know. And I gestured towards my car. I was like, I'm wondering if the thing, and the lady was like, oh, actually, hold on a second. Disappears into the back room. Jason, sure enough, comes out with my bubble nose from my Tesla. And there was one clip that's like kind of bent now, so it doesn't fully go in the thing. But I was able to just kind of rest it on there. I pushed it in. Most of the clips clipped. And my bubble nose has been on ever since. Been on there for like 3 months.
Did you get some Gorilla Glue, put it back there?
I just let it alone. I did go on eBay, and you can buy the plastic bubble part for like $350 from some reseller. And I ordered one because I was like, I don't know where my bubble nose is. But then I went to the car wash. They had it, and I canceled my eBay order. But apparently you can get it.
Can you get one with like hue lights that you can control with an app as you're driving down the street?
You can get different colors.
Because the Afila, whatever, that discontinued Sony car, they actually had a screen on the front top that you could put stuff on. It was stupid, but
I should get a screen that just says beard.fm. It just scrolls
you
on the top
should.
in front of my thing. No, I'm not going to do that.
Get an e-paper bubble nose.
My car already looks weird, apparently. Speaking of cars, though, the Ferrari Luce is now out there in the world. MKBHD has a video of the interior. There's been endless memes about this car because it's the first time we see the exterior and the whole of the car. One of my favorite memes was someone put it side by side with the Nissan Leaf, similar color, and it's Leaf and Leaf Pro Max. Nice. Excellent joke. Nice. Can I just say? Very good. Yeah. Very good meme. This is the reason why this car is news and tech news is because it is designed. Well, there's a lot of tech in it, which we'll talk about. But it is designed by Jony Ive and his company Love From. And everybody's like, if you wanted to know what the Apple car was going to look like, it's going to look like this. It wouldn't look like this, just so everybody knows. This is a Ferrari. This is not an Apple car. I am not a car guy, Jason. I don't know the first thing about Ferrari. I have never in my life desired to have a Ferrari. But then I saw the interior of this car, and I thought, you know what? $600,000? Maybe it could be tax deductible. No, just kidding. I didn't think that. This is the Ferrari Luce. Did you see the interior of this car, Jason?
Yeah. I mean, we'd already seen the dashboard and the steering wheel.
We saw the dashboard and the screen like disembodied, separate from each other. I don't. Are you a car guy? I mean,
I like cars. Yeah.
You go to F1 races. Like, is the exterior of this car as offensive as people are saying?
Did you see the video of? So they released it on Monday, I believe it was, on Memorial Day. And there was Ferrari put up a video of Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, the two F1 drivers, seeing it for the first time. They were like, that was the release video, was the two of them. Right. And they're both like sticking their hands underneath that part where you in the front there. Like it's like an airfoil open all the way up. It's like, I don't understand what's happening. There's a lot of strange things going on with this car. It looks sort of like a Lucid Air meets Nissan Leaf meets the grocery cart thing with the car on the front of it that you get at the store where you push your kids around.
Yes.
It's got suicide doors. I don't know that I fully. And this is an SUV, sort of.
Yeah.
That feels generous calling that an SUV. I don't know what that means. It's a hatchback.
It's because it's larger than Ferrari. Yeah.
I don't know.
I actually saw a Lucid Air in Clearwater the other day, by the way, which I thought.
They're great cars. They got great range. But I just don't understand this car, really.
I don't know. What I wanted to mention is like the connection or integration of like digital and physical things in this car feels pretty innovative. And so MKBHD talks about like the tachometer and the speedometer, and there's like physical needles and even physical elements to the dials, like an aluminum ring, but then there's like digital things behind it. Even so much like when you change from like sport to touring to range mode, you actually see the dials change, like for the amount of power or whatever, but the physical needle stays the same. And so it's a pretty cool thing, like when the dial like changes. And then there's the screen in the middle that's like a weird iPad that you can tilt and swivel. And then there's physical switches, which several times MKBHD said the tactile feel of all the controls is one of the most satisfying things ever, which I like a good tactile physical control. And apparently all the little levers and things that you flip are like that. And the middle part of that middle screen can actually show CarPlay. So this, if you want a $600,000 car that has CarPlay, you can get it. And yeah, that looks cool. This looks very designed. This looks like very designed. The air conditioning vents, you like rotate it and it opens and it looks like the craziest like jet engine style design. I don't know. Looks cool.
Do you remember we're watching the MKBHD tour of the interior right now. So if you're listening to this, you don't see that, but Marquez is like moving the center thing around, right? There's like a bar there and he's grabbing onto it. But do you remember when, was it like, Joswiak, they were like doing all those demos after the iPhone Air, or all those interviews, and they're like, yeah, go ahead and bend it as hard. And everyone's trying to bend it, and they can. It turns out the iPhone Air is the strongest phone in the world. But can you just imagine the Ferrari guys are like, yeah, Marquez, go ahead and just move that around and do whatever you want, and he just yanks the whole thing right off. That would have been amazing. I don't know that that the infotainment and the display doesn't really feel to me like it fits the outside of the car. Like I understand all the finishings are delicious, or you can lick them, or whatever it is that they say, but I just feel like I'm not a Ferrari target market person. If I had $600,000, this is not the thing I would buy, right? It's just not what I would spend it on.
Can we play a game real quick?
Okay.
If you had $600,000 today and you couldn't invest it or like save it or whatever, you had to buy something, what would you buy? Well,
first I would definitely buy a 911 Turbo S, the 992.2 for sure. Which, by the way,
you just said I don't know if I'm a car guy, and you just rattled off some.
By the way, is the car that Marquez has. He does actually drive. Porsche. He does have that Porsche.
It is. Wait, is it Porsche or Porsche? First of all,
a Porsche.
Okay, thank you. All right, so you'd buy that car.
I would. That's about 3-ish, a little less than 3. So with the rest of it, I might be able to put my kids through college. It's like, Dad got a toy. The rest of you, just choose wisely. Very
responsible. Very responsible. I will say we've been to the beach a couple times in the last few months, just weekends, and I rent these Airbnbs out there, and I'm like, if I had $600,000, which, listen, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell you, but there would be signs. One, I might be driving a $600,000 car with CarPlay because I don't have CarPlay now. No, I would probably just get a Rivian. But 2, I would get like a beach house. I would get a beach house. Now, listen, in Florida,
you can't even get hurricane insurance for $600,000.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. But the beach house, it's an investment.
Which beach?
So this is a tough one. This is a little side tangent. Please forgive us. But the age my kids are now, they like waves. And so East Coast is what they prefer right now, which the East Coast, you get sunrises and you get waves. But as my kids get older, maybe I have grandkids in like 10-ish years, little kids can't do big waves. They need a calmer beach. And personally, I would choose a sunset over a sunrise. That's just me. So if it was up to me, I think I would do a west coast of Florida, somewhere in the Treasure Island, Fort DeSoto area, and do a beach house over there. Sunsets, calmer waves for the grandkids, and less hurricane risk. Slightly less hurricane risk, I would say, at least than the East Coast, where they just get hammered by a bunch of stuff. You're still at risk. Don't get me wrong, but I would go West Coast.
Okay. So which beach did you say? You didn't.
I would say like Treasure Island.
Treasure Island's a good place.
Yeah, Treasure Island. Oh yeah, that's where.
Been there many times.
Yeah. You're journalist Treasure Island. Okay, anyway.
I'm the Treasure Island Herald.
That's right. So you should go watch MKBHD's video if you want to see all the interior of the Ferrari Luce. I think I called it a Luce the first time we talked about
it. That's okay. So did like Ben Thompson. It's fine.
Yeah, okay. Luce. But let's take a break and thank our friends at Keeper. Listen, there's a lot of password managers out there, and one, if you're still trying to remember passwords on your own, don't do that. If you can remember your password, it's not secure enough. And if you have family and friends doing that, it is time to help them by getting a password manager. And that's where today's sponsor comes in, Keeper. Keeper is a password manager that creates strong, unique passwords for all your accounts, stores them securely in one place, and logs you in automatically across all your devices so you never have to remember, guess, or worry about your login credentials again. And for businesses, Keeper takes the chaos out of managing access for teams so they can securely share logins, control permissions, and protect sensitive data without slowing down day-to-day work. And what people really notice is how simple Keeper feels. Security features like autofill and Face ID or fingerprint login quietly make things easier. So best-in-class protection doesn't feel like extra work, it just happens in the background. I'll have to say, I've talked about password managers a lot over the years, and I always had viewers and listeners mention Keeper, and I finally checked it out for myself, downloaded it. I really enjoy the app, it works super well, the design, the UI, and of course, it is super secure and rated one of the best password apps by many different outlets. So right now, Keeper is offering our listeners 60% off personal and family plans at keepersecurity.com/primary. And this offer is only for podcast listeners. That's keepersecurity.com/primary for 60% off personal and family plans. And make sure to use our link down in the show notes so they know we sent you. keepersecurity.com/primary. Our thanks to Keeper for sponsoring this episode and our friends at Scribe. You know how every week there's some new AI tool that promises to 10x your team? The reality is most teams don't struggle to scale because of headcount or budget. They struggle because the critical knowledge of how work gets done lives in people's heads or random docs nobody can find. Manual documentation is boring, it's time-consuming, and it usually doesn't happen. So people work inconsistently, tools don't get fully adopted, and when someone leaves, a whole chunk of your process just walks out of the door. That's exactly the problem today's sponsor, Scribe, was built to fix. Scribe is a workflow AI platform that captures any workflow in real time and turns it into documentation automatically. No manual writing, no manual screenshots, no starting from scratch every time someone new joins the team. It's trusted by more than 80,000 enterprises, including nearly half of the Fortune 500 for onboarding, SOPs, software rollouts, internal knowledge bases, and more. I actually tried Scribe on something I do all the time, walking someone through how to build a few Mac shortcuts. I just turned on the extension and did the process the way I normally would, and Scribe built the guide I wanted, capturing every click, step, and screenshot automatically. That would have taken hours of writing, recording, and cleanup, and it was all done in under a minute, and it was already ready to share. Scribe also handles the sensitive bits automatically. It redacts names, account numbers, email addresses, all the stuff you don't want in a how-to guide from every screenshot, and as an admin, you can enforce that across your whole team so nothing slips through the cracks. And for anyone following the process, they can launch real-time on-screen guidance that shows them exactly where to click, step by step, inside the actual tool. It's there the moment the Scribe is created and make sure everyone runs those critical processes the right way. On top of that, Scribe will suggest improvements to the underlying workflow, not just document it. Once you can see how a process is actually being done, you can spot redundant steps, see where people get stuck, and find places to automate or simplify. It's not just capturing how work gets done, it helps you do it better. To book a personalized enterprise demo, visit scribe.how/primary. That's SCRIBE.how/primary, and the link is down in the show notes below. Thanks to Scribe for sponsoring this episode, and finally our friends at NordLayer. NordLayer is a network security platform for modern teams across different work environments. It enables secure access to company systems with centralized control over users, devices, and network activity without additional hardware or complex infrastructure. Teams get fast, encrypted connectivity with full visibility across their entire network environment. It's for business owners. Protect company data as your team works remotely, decide who gets access to what, and no hardware or complex infrastructure is required. It's for IT admins. You can grant access based on identity, device, and context. Quickly onboard and offboard users, SCIM or single sign-on. Replace legacy VPNs and reduce infrastructure overhead. And it's for cybersecurity conscious listeners. You can block malware, phishing, and risky domains, detect unusual activity, enforce security policies, and a ton more. There's also access control. Again, users are verified by SSO and MFA. Unhealthy or non-compliant devices are blocked, cloud firewall enforcement, and access automatically revoked upon offboarding. And you can block those malicious sites, risky downloads, and dangerous domains, protecting your team and your company. Here's an exclusive offer. You can get up to 22% off NordLayer yearly plans plus 10% on top with the coupon code Primary Technology. Try it risk-free, a 14-day money-back guarantee. Just go to nordlayer.com/primary technology and you can get a 10% on top with coupon code Primary Technology. That link is down below. Our thanks to NordLayer for sponsoring this episode. Meta is actually launching subscriptions. This has been rumored that they were testing subscriptions, and now it is official. They're launching subscriptions both for users, like $4 a month for Instagram Plus, Facebook Plus, and you get features like profile customization, super reactions, better story insights, and all of that. You can basically pay to not be shown as a story viewer. So if you want to like creep on somebody and them not see that you looked at their story, you can pay for that feature now, which seems kind of weird. All of that to say, it's not in the US right away. They're testing it in other countries first, but they're also launching like pro creator type plans all the way up to $50 a month. And the big feature, if you pay $50 a month,
people will see your content.
People will see your content, and you can put a link on a reel or post. And listen, Jason, let me just say, the kind of world we live in, where you have to pay $50 a month to put a link on a post that you made, just seems wild to me.
I mean, actually, so I didn't read that part. Like, I hadn't gotten that far because I just kept trying to figure out. So wait, there's a lot of people who pay $10 a month for Meta Verified, but I think now you also have to pay more for this other stuff if you want to be verified and creepy. Apparently,
That's right.
I don't know,
right.
but and there's also going to be like a bundle plan. You get the verified badge and the creepy stuff. Oh, that's good. That's really good. And
you can also make a story last longer than 24 hours. You can highlight a story for a week. Anyway,
all of that stuff is weird. It has always been strange that the ephemeral stories, you can add links right in it, but the ones that are supposed to stick around, you can't.
Correct.
And then I just got so tired the other day of every time you tap on a link, it opens it in the stupid Instagram or Threads browser, and you have to dig through the little menu to try to find the open.
The worst.
And so I just posted on Threads. I was like, the only thing I ever want this to do is open an external browser. I don't even need the button. Just let that be the thing. A lot of people agree with me, Steve.
I know. I saw that thread going viral.
A lot of people were like, yes, never. But they're just coming in. The fact that they're going to make you pay $50 a month to put a clickable link in a post just tells you how desperate they are to keep people on the platform.
And here's the thing, Jason.
Okay, there's more.
Well, no, I would consider paying that because I now post a lot of reels. I post a lot of stories. And you might be wondering, why do you care about Instagram? Why does it matter? When I went independent as a creator, one of the decisions I wanted to make was do a lot less to zero dedicated YouTube videos. So in the creator space, the lingo is you can do a dedicated long form video. You can do an integration, which is like a 60-second ad in a video, or you can do a short reel or TikTok. And the one audience that I want to protect the most, protect the sense of trust the most, is my long-form YouTube audience. That's what I grew my channel on. That is where I put like some of the best content out there, and that is also the marketing channel for like my Shortcuts community, so I can tell people about that, and this podcast, and Mac Power users. Like, the YouTube channel is what I want to protect the most. And so I didn't want to do dedicated robot vacuum videos anymore. And I haven't. I say no to a lot of sponsors where they say, listen, we're only interested in a 10-minute dedicated video about our robot vacuum. And I say, okay, not for me. And it has been wonderful because you guys who support this show, my Shortcuts community, the support you guys have in those places allow for that. It allows me to say no to things like 10-minute robot vacuum videos, which don't perform well anyway. Nobody cares. They're obviously not a review because they're sponsored. So the one place that I wanted to put more sponsorships that I didn't care as much about, because this content is even more ephemeral than YouTube videos, is Reels and TikToks. Because I don't care what I post there. I mean, I do care to an extent, but the cost of posting a reel about a pool vacuum is so much lower than doing a dedicated sponsored video on YouTube, long form, of a pool vacuum.
Right.
So I needed to grow my Instagram following and TikTok following so sponsors see that and will pay me to post about their stuff on those channels. So Instagram Reels and TikTok and YouTube Shorts are a key part of my business now because that's where I point sponsors. I say, I'm not going to do a dedicated long form YouTube video, but I'll do a short reel and a TikTok, and you can pay me for that. And many of them agree. And one of the hardest things is linking to stuff. And so I have to do link in bio. On Instagram, you can do the ManyChat automation. And this is why you see all the reels where they'll say, comment link, and I'll DM you a link. Because that's the only option you have. ManyChat is like $15 a month. Just point of reference. So if I could put a link on a reel to a shortcut, which is 9 times out of 10 what I will do, like, hey, tap here and download this shortcut, people will love that experience. And it'll be a way less friction for them. And then if I do a sponsorship, I could say I can link your product right on the reel. I'm actually considering that and might pay $50 a month for that, which is ridiculous. But
it's ridiculous. Sorry, I got really distracted because I just found a SD card thing that has dog teeth and then the SD card's missing. And I'm just trying to figure out, did I take it out and not notice the teeth marks?
Did you chew the SD card?
I probably did. No, I'm just kidding. I just noticed that and I'm like, I got to go find my dog. I got to go look
that
in the
SD
yard
card's
real
probably worth $2,000. I mean,
actually, I'm pretty sure that the reason that was sitting on my desk is that SD card doesn't work, so it's fine. But have you gotten listen, this is a real thing. You can buy SanDisk SD cards from Amazon, and they are nothing. They are just the outside casing. There's nothing inside them. They are just, you pay $300 for a 512 SD card. You put it in your camera, and it's like, I don't know you.
Really?
Yeah. It's happened a couple times.
I just bought a micro SD card, SanDisk, for my contraband Osmo Pocket 4.
Okay.
Because I have one of those, even though you can't get them here in the U.S. But it was real. It was legitimate. I did have to pay $120 for 512 gigabyte SSD, which is almost double what I paid probably a year ago. But
I mean, those contraband devices, they take only the good stuff.
They take only the good stuff. Anyway, contraband. I had lots of thoughts on Reels and things. But
I don't think that anyone should pay $50 a month for that, but that's because I think that it is absolutely ridiculous that that's just the way they've built the platform. Like, how hard would it be? The fact that for a long time it was like, oh, we can't do this. It's just there's no way to add a link in this little text field where you put the description. It's just not possible. Never mind that you've been able to do it on Facebook for whatever eternity.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter though,
years.
But they'll never send you any traffic from that link. So it doesn't. Correct. It's basically like you can't add a link. You can just put it there and it makes you feel better, but no one cares. Yeah. But now they're like, oh, actually, we figured out a way. It'll just be $50 a month, please.
Anyway, I might pay that. I'll let you know. It's not available in the U.S. yet, but I might do it.
Rise up, Steven. You got to stick with the people.
Rise up. I'm going to put a break there. Okay.
I was like, did I make you stall out or something?
No. I was thinking about how to structure the rest. Okay. Let's do an early lightning round because I want to talk about our travel gear in a minute because you've been traveling. I'm about to go to Dub. But Halide 3 is officially out. I wanted to mention because we interviewed Ben Sandofsky,
that's right,
Halide 3, and so you should go listen to that interview. I'll link it below, but that's out there.
We talked about Halide 3, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We did, because it was out there in alpha or beta or something like that. So that's out there. There's been a lot of reviews of the Fitbit Air, and I will point you to Lexi Savide's review of the Fitbit Air. She had a really good in-depth review. This is the Google's new fitness tracker, and people are liking the hardware because it's light, great battery life, all that kind of stuff. But there's been a lot of pushback against the app. The Google Health app is apparently a bit of a mess. And I've been seeing also on social media that while the Fitbit Air has no subscription, like many other fitness trackers like the Whoop and stuff, people are saying that you really do have to pay for the Google Health Premium for $10 a month, or that comes in Google AI Pro for the $20 a month plan. Because without the Google Health app, you don't get a lot of the metrics and trends or interpreting of the data that you get when you actually have the, subscription. So it remains to be seen. I don't have one of these. I still like my Apple Watch, and it works just fine for all that stuff. But Lexi had a great video if you're wanting to know the in-depth of the Fitbit Air and how good it works for different things. She compared it to the Apple Watch. So, yeah, it's there.
The good thing about a device like this is it's relatively low profile. If you wanted to wear something other than an Apple Watch but still get your stats or whatever, like I've got the
Whoop, right?
I got a Whoop on right now, yeah. And it's nice because if you're wearing something else, then you can still keep track of your data if you don't. So you're not like Marquez. Marquez's review, he was wearing like 3 different things at a time or whatever. Right. So that's nice, but I don't know. I've seen a lot of people. The pain point seems to be, yes, you have to pay for a subscription, and also Fitbit used to be, I mean, obviously Google has owned it for a while, but it used to be relatively platform agnostic in some ways, right? If you had, I know a lot of people with iPhones and Fitbits, but if you have this one, this isn't going to do with Apple Health what you'd pay for with Google Health. So
that, correct. So we'll leave those videos in the show notes, and the Verge article has why the Google Health backlash is out there. We talked a couple of weeks ago about Amazon acquiring Globalstar, or at least a portion of it. Well, they are now acquiring even more of it, and Amazon is going to acquire Apple's share of Globalstar, which is the satellite provider that does like the satellite SOS for the iPhone 14 and newer, and Amazon's just going to own all of it. So there you go. Amazon is powering your satellite.
I mean, the interesting thing here is that because this is also Amazon's Leo satellite network will be the source on iPhones and on Delta Airlines, right?
Delta Airlines, yeah.
And it's interesting because last week or This Week American said they're now using Starlink. So that means
That's right.
Apple and Delta are the only two companies holding out
For Amazon.
against the $28 trillion addressable market that
Starlink.
Elon Musk says that SpaceX is going to capture.
I mean, you're a Delta guy. Do you wish Delta had gone with Starlink?
So the weird thing is that the Wi-Fi on Delta flights has been basically mostly fine, unless you were on one of the planes that still had the old go-go hotspot, whatever stupidness. If you were on one of the ones, I think it was Viasat, maybe, and you had the free Wi-Fi, you couldn't do great streaming necessarily to devices, but it was fine.
Sure.
Like for the stuff I use on an airplane, it was fine. I don't know. So like this is them moving up to the next level, and I haven't asked. I should ask somebody, why not Starlink? Like Starlink, everyone's using Starlink. That seems to be table stakes. But I do think it's interesting that Delta is the only. I said it. It was me.
It wasn't
Steven.
me.
I'm allowed to say it. No one told me I
You
couldn't.
can say it. I can't say it.
And I also meant it in the way that, that it was meant to be used. Is the only major airline that is not using Starlink, and Apple seems to be pushing against that as well.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. Starlink, Leo. Well, okay. The MacBook Pro overhaul. We've not really talked about this, but apparently the MacBook Pro is due and going to have a major hardware overhaul. Not just a new M chip, but everything going to be changing. Switching from mini LED to OLED. That's been rumored for the last couple of years, but it's like maybe finally coming. Journalist Mark Gurman over at Bloomberg has talked a lot about this and how Apple is optimizing macOS to take advantage of a possible touchscreen. There might be a dynamic island on the MacBook Pro, a thinner design, and everyone's saying this is going to be coming with the M6 chip generation. I'm still saying I don't think there's going to be a touchscreen on the MacBook Pro. The overhaul, thinner design, dynamic island, I could see all that. I don't think it's going to be a touchscreen. Do you?
I don't know if it's going to be a touchscreen. I really hope it's not. OLED, great. I've had some laptop. I've reviewed like some Dell XPSs with OLEDs. That's great. That's fine. Whatever. Apple. I mean, the mini LED is pretty darn good. So
pretty good.
I don't feel like there's a need there necessarily. But the touchscreen thing, I don't understand the desire to have a touchscreen Mac at all, because I have used many, many Windows PCs that have touchscreens, including a Surface thing. And you never touch the screen. Like, you don't. No. Maybe the occasional scroll
with your thumb. Yeah.
Man, it's really the thing is the trackpad is actually closer than the screen.
And you're going to want to type probably soon after too.
And I don't want to have to clean it off later.
It's so gross. Even not touching my MacBook Air screen, there's stuff all over.
Yeah, because you touch the keyboard and the keyboard touches the screen. But I really don't understand the desire to have a touch screen Mac. I just don't get it. I can understand the desire to run Mac OS on an iPad. Fine, whatever. I get, but I understand that sort of. Yeah. But that's mostly because it's just a sweet form factor, right?
Yeah,
it's I got this cool little thing.
We're going to talk about our hopes and dreams for Dub. And I have some thoughts about iPad that will be coming. So stay tuned. Next week will be our preview, prediction, hopes and dreams episode. Right. That'll be fun. YouTube is actually getting serious about AI labels. So both on long form and YouTube Shorts, there are going to be more prominent AI labels. On a long form, you're going to see it, right by the title and the channel. There'll be a little AI tag, and they're going to detect whether it is AI. And on Shorts, there's going to be an AI tag just visible. You're not going to have to tap to see the label. It's just going to be there, watermarked on the video. If anything is made with Google Synth ID or C2PA detects AI, then that label is going to be there. And it will also try to detect, even if it wasn't generated with Google's tools or tagged with C2PA, it's going to try and, if it is AI, it's going to try and label it proactively. Creators can challenge that if, in fact, what they made was not AI. But this feels like a positive move, in the right direction. This is what it would be nice to have all the platforms doing. Just put the AI label right there on the video, on the reel, on the short, and YouTube is really doing it. So it's good.
Or they could just not have the stuff there.
That's not, Jason.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
I know it's not, but I just feel like this is pointless.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's pointless. Why would you say it's pointless?
It's utterly and completely pointless. This is going to have zero effect except for making them feel better about it. How is this going to be useful?
Well, I'll extrapolate. I think it would be really useful on platforms like Facebook, where the predominant audience is older and maybe less likely to spot AI content right away. And if they could just see a label that says AI on the video they're currently watching, I think that would be very helpful in reducing the amount of misinterpretation, misinformation of what people are seeing and then what they tell their friends about, I saw this video and it's true. I think that would help.
Steven, every AI video on the platforms could have a warning screen at the beginning flashing in your face saying this is fake, it was made by AI, and people will still just be like, oh, this is just big tech trying to get us to not believe the truth. Steven.
I hate that I kind of agree
yes
with that assessment, but it's something. At least it's something.
That is what the people at Google are saying to themselves about doing this. At least it's something.
But what could you do? I mean, the AI content is going to be there. People are going to post it. There are entire Instagram accounts and YouTube channels that are all AI. I was going to share this on social media and I didn't. There's a feature on Apple TV that came out with tvOS 26.4 for the continuous connection to audio. Like, so if you connect like a soundbar or something, sometimes like your Apple TV might disconnect or the volume changes from when you turn it off to turn it on.
Like every time you turn on your Sonos bar?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so there's a feature in the Apple tvOS 26.4 where you can enable continuous audio connection and it should prevent some of that issue. For some reason, I don't have that setting on my Apple TVs, even though it's connected to a Sonos soundbar in my bedroom. So I went to Google, where can I change this setting? Because I looked where I thought it was and where I found several websites that it wasn't there. When I Googled it, the Google AI overview gave me a video result first. And I was like, I don't typically watch a video just to look where a setting is, but I'll watch this video. Jason, this video, it was an abomination.
From Mordor.
This video, I don't even want to try and look for it to find it. It was an AI narrated voice with all AI generated video imagery. And it was talking about the Apple TV and this feature. And the AI-generated Apple TV images, including the remote, nothing looked like an Apple TV. It wasn't even close. And the Apple TV is a round black box.
Yeah.
Like, this is not hard to generate. Like, I could generate it out of clay probably better than this video.
You could just generate an SSD and it would look closer.
A hockey puck would have been closer to an Apple TV.
My earbuds case.
Yeah, the case is better. Yeah. And it was infuriating because I was like, Google, serve me this video that A, is not giving me the instructions that I want, and B, is a completely AI generated video that's garbage. The Apple TV remote that this video, I'm going to try and find the video and I'll try to put it in the show notes. The Apple TV remote that it just AI generated was insane. No Apple TV remote ever looked like it. And I was like, this is infuriating. Now, you're not going to prevent that from being posted. That's there. And Google is even pushing it. So to your point, yeah, Google wants to feel better about it being labeled as AI, but they also like allowed that to be on their platform and even promoted it in a search result, which is maddening. But all that to say, I still think it would be better to at least put the label on there. So when someone Googles and clicks that video, they can at least know like, oh, this is not real.
So my point is your point is letting them off the hook, because all of these tech companies with all of this C2PA, Synth ID, whatever flavor you want to call today of, oh, we'll mark this as AI, acts as though someone else out there in the world, some evil villain, is creating all of these tools and all of this AI content. And Google's like, but we will put this little tag on there. You made the evil villain. You are the evil villain. You made the tools, and this is just a way for you to feel better because you're like, oh, but we're going to add this thing on there. Never mind the fact that, like, do you know how hard it is to take an AI generated image and take a screenshot of it? Guess what happens to the metadata when you take a screenshot or a screen recording? It's gone. Yeah. Like, this is nothing. It is nothing.
Jason, I found the video.
But here's the thing. You can show it to the audience.
Yes.
You just can't put a link because I do not want this channel to get any extra views.
Okay, hold on. Let me hide the channel name. Sticking YouTube is like reformatting it, so I can't hide it.
That's fine. You can put it in there, but I just don't want you to link to it.
I won't link it. Before I even press play, I want you to look at this Apple TV remote. Okay? I understand if you're just listening, I apologize. I will put this image as the chapter art so you can at least see this part. I'm gonna hit play. Look at just look.
That is a sweet looking USB-C port.
What is even like this whole thing just makes me unreasonably angry.
This looks like a promo video for what was that, the function remote or whatever? Like they came out with a new one. Wasn't that the like replacement Apple TV remote? This is not.
And all the UI, none of it is what an Apple TV actually is. And what's maddening is the title of this video has continuous audio because that is the feature that I searched for. So the title of this video is exactly what I was looking on information for, but this entire video is just AI generated slop. And like, I don't typically get this worked up about it, but it hit really close to home because I wanted to find a video about this feature. Like, what even is
Apple
this?
Arcade?
It said Apple Arcade, but it was Apple Arcade, not Spanish. It was just an AI generated mistake.
Just
Sonic with a look at this
control canter.
This is so crazy making. Anyway, control.
This is nightmare fuel right here.
Control canter.
This is
CANTER.
Steven, you know what this
control
is?
Canter. I'm crashing out right now.
This is software body horror.
Oh, you're absolutely right. The control canter. I can't even. Anyway, I apologize to anyone your eyes might be bleeding from seeing that, but listen, that's what's out there.
If you're only listening to the audio, don't listen to don't watch the video of this version. We're sorry.
And like, there is a YouTube comment that's like, don't listen to any word of this AI generated and then expletive, which is fine. But then there's also like actual legitimate comments, and it makes me so sad. Like, this video doesn't have a ton of views. It has like 800 views, but man, Google, why would you surface this video as a result?
Right, and you made the tools to make this video possible, and then you allowed this thing on your platform, which fine, whatever. I'm not like a control freak where I'm like, oh, Google shouldn't allow certain things. We have free speech, whatever. But my point is, you can't then be like, but we also made the little label so everyone will know. No one will pay attention. No one will know. And you're just trying to make yourself feel better about the fact that you've created this terrible dystopian problem, and you think putting a little circle with the letters AI in the middle is going to solve it. It's not going to solve it.
I'm putting in the title of this episode.
And they served it as a result to your search query in Google search.
That was so offensive to me. It was like, this is your top result. Google, this is your top result. Anyway, I'm going to put an AI Slop Crash Out in the title of this episode somewhere. I'm worked up right now. I'm worked up. I can't even deal. Anyway, Spotify is releasing new podcast tools. I don't know if I could recover. No, that's not this. This is Robinhood is letting AI agents trade money for you. Speaking of AI.
What could go wrong?
They say in their terms of service. Oh, my goodness. I do say that a lot, I guess. I'm sorry. They say in the terms of service, actually, that you might lose all your money if you use AI agents to trade. So just be warned. Yeah, okay, duh. You might lose everything. Anyway, Robinhood.
I mean, you might lose everything if you do it yourself. I think the
exactly.
odds greatly increase if you just let a robot do it for you. Because you know what robots don't care about? They don't care about your money.
Or you.
Nearly the way that you care about your money.
Where my kids play with their toys. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care.
You make investment decisions based on the fact that you feel pain when the number of dollars in your account goes down. The robots don't feel pain.
You know what? Yes. And a robot did not feel the incredible shame it should have felt when it made that AI slop Apple TV video. It should have felt guilty, shame, distress. That's all I'm saying.
And apparently neither did the human being that uploaded it to YouTube. Shame on you.
You know what? I wouldn't throw that around loudly, but I do think, you know what? If you uploaded that video, I think shame on you. I think shame on you. Shame on you. This is the Spotify. I wanted to put this in here because Spotify is actually pushing harder, better, faster, stronger on like podcast features and tools for real people, because Spotify is now going to let you actually create a clip of the show you're listening to or watching right now and then post that easily with a link back to that episode. And they're at Spotify. I don't know if this is like a dig at Apple, but Spotify is like, people really love the chapters we have when they're watching a podcast. And so we're going to make it even easier to share links to that chapter with a video clip or audio clip. And it's going to be so easy to share podcasts. I'm like, Apple, just rip with all the stuff that Spotify is doing. Do that. They have chapters and follow along transcripts for video. Now they're going to make it easy to share clips of podcasts. Apple, you need to do all of this. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, use some AI for good.
AI for good.
The
Thank you, Jason.
title of this episode is going to be AI Slop Crash Out and Steven Never Recovers.
That might be it. I don't know how I'm going to record a Mac Power users after this, but I'm going to try and do it. I'm going to try and do it.
Sparks is going to be like, you are unusually amped up today.
My blood pressure is elevated right now. I'm glad I got to get that out of my system though, because I've been thinking about that video. Sorry, thinking about wow. Now it's just skipping. I'm gonna have to leave it all in. I've been thinking about that video since I saw it. Probably last week, so it's been a full week, and I could not get over the control canter. I just couldn't believe someone would post that. Anyway, You've been traveling some.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to WWDC. We talk about travel tech every once in a while, and I was just curious. Is there anything new or fun or different or things that you would double down and say, this is the travel gear. This is the thing.
Oh man, I wasn't prepared for this, but yeah.
Let me give you a second to think about it. I'll give you a second to think about it because I wanted to mention a couple things. One, Apple is selling directly through the Apple Store, not like you can't get this on Amazon. They have this new like charging brick. I believe it's 45 watts, but they're like made for kids. It's got like multiple fun colors. It's kind of a big charging brick, but if you're wanting to not lose it, and it has a retractable cable built in, that's a pretty good length, and it has a little magnet where the cable will like stick to the little brick, and you can just get it through the Apple Store, but it's a fun charging brick. So, for kids, or you just want something that's easily to spot, that's pretty cool. I'm also going to mention this charging brick because Ugreen has a new line of chargers. It is very small. It's basically like the old iPhone charger bricks, like the old 5-watt ones. Ugreen has these. They are 65 watts, though. This little brick is a 65-watt charger. It's only one USB-C port, but 65 watts, and it comes with a color-matched USB-C cable, which I thought was pretty fun. So you can get like a cool orange and a blue. 65 watts. I love how small chargers are getting and how powerful they still are. So there's that. This thing went on sale recently. And yeah, I'm going to put affiliate links down below. You buy it or don't buy it. I just want to tell you what I bring. The Anchor power bank that has a little screen on the front and it has a retractable cable up at the top. I bring this everywhere on all my trips because I can charge my MacBook Air with this. Like I can charge it one whole time and maybe a little more with this Anchor retractable USB-C cable brick. So I'm going to bring that. And MagSafe battery-wise, I did get sent the CoolSil S4 solid-state battery pack, and they did send it to me in orange. It's got a little screen on it and a little kickstand. But when it comes to charging speed, I've been testing a lot of recent MagSafe batteries. I haven't got a chance to like post videos on it, but the CoolSil, which is KUXIO, the S4 is one of the fastest wireless chargers, and so that's been very impressive. I really like that. But I also bring my Basis that has like a built-in USB-C cable, so if I ever need to like charge extra fast, I can just plug the cable in and do that. I still use the CoolSil 3-in-1, which is like a foldable metal 3-in-1 charger for my iPhone, Apple Watch, and AirPods. And yeah, I'll probably bring 3 more power banks than I actually need, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to bring my Osmo Pocket 4, which is contraband here in the U.S. So,
okay. Everything you mentioned basically is charging, but it occurs to me that when you're traveling, that's the thing you care the most about.
That is the thing you care the most about, yeah.
So, but I would just encourage people to, like, I am a big fan of this Anchor. I think this is a 10,000 milliamp hour, whatever. You can charge your phone basically twice. And I think it's 40 watts fast charging, and it has this retractable USB-C cable, which is great. Plus, it has 2 other. Yep, exactly.
I got the same one.
It's got the little screen on it, so it's great. Yeah, this thing is, and it's small, right? And it even has this little strap to attach it to things. This thing is great. If you have like a water bottle pocket on your lap or on your backpack, just stick this in that, and then you pull your cord out while you're walking through the airport. Big fan of that. I also am still a big fan. I will tell you, I don't actually upgrade my travel stuff because I just want to only go with stuff that works. But this 65-watt Nomad Slim charger, I love this thing because it's light. It is so stinking lightweight.
And it's thin to like put in bags and stuff.
Yep. But the other 2 things, I will just say I use this the Belkin This is the thing that sticks on the top of your laptop, right? If you want to use your
Continuity camera
iPhone for
mount.
continuity camera. It also works as a pop socket, by the way, a MagSafe pop socket.
It does, yeah.
So there's that. Also, OWC sent me this USB-C travel, what do they call it? Travel hub, travel dock. So it has the SD, nice. USB-A, USB-C. It has a built-in USB-C port, so you don't have to like use up any of these ports for that. So this thing it has no, it doesn't have Ethernet, but it has HDMI. So that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
But then two things, Stephen. I mean this sincerely. Listen up, friends. If you travel with any tech, two things you should take.
Apple Vision Pro.
No. You should travel with a stash of sterile alcohol prep pads.
Yeah.
Because these are great for cleaning screens. And we had this debate, so don't tell me you shouldn't use alcohol swabs on your screens. Apple says it right on their website, even the nanotexture displays.
Really?
On both the iPad and on the MacBook Pro. So take some of these. I carry like 40 of these just all the time. It's great. And also, by the way, if you're ever somewhere and you're like, ooh, what did I just touch? I'm in an airport. You pull one of these out, right?
What did I just touch? A terrible question to arise.
In an airport, right? And then also, I just keep one of these in my it's a binder clip. I just keep it in my travel bag, my little gear bag. You know why, Steven?
Why is it?
You know what never works the way it should? What's blackout curtains in a hotel room.
Oh.
And you know what you can do with a binder clip? You just make them stay together.
I like the sound effect.
So you just keep all the light, so you can shut out the light. If you're someone who likes it really dark, when you're traveling. So I'm just saying, I'm just recommending that you invest in some very low tech devices to take with you to make the trip better. And also, by the way, like as many MagSafe batteries as you can fit in your backpack, right?
See, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. And I'll help link to all those. I'm putting Apple's support article in the show notes because there's a big call-out box on their website that says, is it okay to use a disinfectant on my Apple product? Using a 70% isopropyl alcohol wipe, 75% ethyl alcohol wipe, or Clorox disinfecting wipes, you may gently wipe the hard, non-porous surfaces of your Apple products, such as the display, keyboard, or other exterior surfaces. Do not use these cleaning products on Apple Vision Pro as they may damage the device. Which
I don't travel with my Vision Pro.
Jason doesn't take it anywhere. Yeah. It says it right there. You can actually, honestly, I didn't know that, Jason.
We talked about this once before because people were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you would do that. And I'm like, it says it right on the website.
I've forgotten everything the last 6 months after that AI Slop Crash Out. So
great. Well, I'm telling you, these are great. And by the way, if you, this is disgusting, but if you take one of these and a Q-tip, perfect for cleaning out your AirPods Pro.
Oh yeah, yes, that's important. That's important. One other thing I'm going to tell you, I did get over-the-ear headphones. Which ones are you still bringing? Is it the Bowers and Wilkins when you travel?
Yeah, most of the time, or I'll take the XM5s.
XM5s? Yeah. So I usually try the latest Sony headphones, and then I return them, and I compare them to AirPods Max, and then I remember I'd never wear over-the-ear headphones, so I don't keep them. Well, I did keep my AirPods Max too, but anyway. Sony released some new headphones. I don't know if you saw this.
Was this the XM6s? The 7?
These are the 1000X.
Okay.
The collection with an X, wireless noise canceling.
Steven,
headphones.
if you bought these, I quit.
Well, maybe don't quit until you learn whether I return them or not. Okay. How about that?
If you keep these, I'm quitting.
Thank you. These are $650, $100 more than AirPods Max. Sony headphones. They are premium, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna try them.
Are they? You don't have them yet?
They arrived today, actually, later today.
Also, they don't fold.
I mean, the ear cups turn inwards.
Oh, do they? Okay, because that was the problem with these. These, by the way, Steven. Okay.
Yeah.
So these ones here, the XM5s, these were Sony sent me these. Okay, and then I was like, cool, thanks. I'm done. Like I genuinely think they're great, and so I put them in a travel guide. Yeah. Except for the one problem is the XM4s. They folded down. These do not, so they don't. Right. They take up the space that they take up. So I said to Sony, and by the way, if someone from Sony's listening and you want these back, just email me, because 3 times I sent an email. 3 times over like 8 months, I sent an email, and I was like, "Hey, I'm done with these. Could you send me something so I can send them back?" And one time I got some kind of response like, "Hey, I'll forward this to the team," and then I got ghosted the other times. And I feel like at this point it's like eminent domain or something like that. I don't really know what to do with
Statute of limitations.
But maybe. But I take them on the plane, and at some point I'm gonna be like, "Well, I've been using these. I'm gonna do like a 2-year review of this one pair of headphones or something." So if someone from Sony wants them back, otherwise I'm gonna keep taking them on planes. The Bowers and Wilkins are still my favorite, except something you can say about Sony headphones.
Yes.
They are about the most comfortable thing you can put on your head.
That's the thing. They're comfortable.
They're super lightweight. They feel like they cannot possibly be worth $400 or whatever because they feel so lightweight compared to everything else. But they feel really good and they sound great. So,
well, and that's why I don't bring AirPods Max or wear them a lot, because the clamping strength for my big head is still too great. It just is not comfortable for hours on end. Whereas the Sonys and even the Sonos Ace headphones, I could wear for longer periods, and the clamping strength doesn't put so much pressure. So I'm going to try these Sonys. They do come with this little case, and supposedly the ear cups are larger, which with my big head, I also have large ears. And so I'm curious how the whole big ear cup thing, how that goes. So I'll follow up, because I think I'm going to bring these on my trip just to say I did and then review them after. So we'll see. Very expensive, though. Very expensive. All right, you called me out on Threads for my Reminders Kanban view, and I want to know what's up. And so we're going to go talk about that in a bonus episode. So if you want to hear a little bit about reminders, task management, project management, you can support the show. Click the link in the show notes for I Want Chapters, and you get $2.50 a month or $25 a year. And you can support the show, get an ad-free version, get the unedited feed, and then you can understand the joke, the inside joke. I did this entire episode. You can also watch the show on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. We just appreciate you listening and watching. And listen, if you or a friend, loved one, acquaintance, some random person you hit on the street is going to Antarctica, please let us know. I will send you a bunch of pins, and so we can get the Medieval Night on the Polar Bear on all 7 to 8 continents, because Zealandia is apparently a continent. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.